Hi friends, all for art and art for lions.
I'm a fuzzy lion. Yes, I am. Why do all the toys talk the same? I don't know. They all kind of have the same voice, except for this voice is different. But I'm like this. Here we go. Da, 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 da,
Okay, there you go. I'm surrounded by doggy toys. All right, here we go. Let's do another daily doodle. Here's my blotter sheet so that my marker ink doesn't soak through. We're going to do a nice big square today. Nice big square. And I'm gonna try and make 3 lines. So let me do one down the middle each way. As close to down the middle as you can. And then cut the next section in half. And cut the next section in half. So I have 3 lines going this way. And I'm gonna cut one in half here. And cut this one in half here. So if you end up with a different number of squares, that's fine. No big deal. And what I'm looking at is I'm going to make X's. So I'm going to make a diagonal line through all of my squares. So through all of them. Try and hit the centers if you can. This one goes off the edge, so I'm going to start there and then go down. Maybe it doesn't quite hit the corner. And that goes up, and that's going to head towards the corner. And this guy goes up, and this guy goes up. Okay. Then I'm going to cut my squares this way too. I'm probably going to need to give you a second to do that. You could also just go box by box and make some X's. So if you finish early, I'm going to give you some time to make X's in all of the new boxes. If you finish early, you can always do stuff like this, like thicken up the frame that's maybe around it, around your whole square. So I'm doing this to give you a chance to catch up. You don't have to make your lines thicker. Okay. And so now, what I thought would look cool, now that we have this, let's do lines that go across. Let's see. Let's start up here. And I'm going to do a couple lines that go across. My triangles were kind of small. This one has more room. So in each square, I'm kind of doing this upper triangle, and I'm doing horizontal lines. So that might be a new word, or maybe it's a word you've heard before. Horizontal is flat this direction. This is vertical this direction. Horizontal this direction. And if you can't fit 2 stripes, just 1 stripe is fine. And maybe I can fit 1 more there. There we go. So I did horizontal lines in 1 direction. And now I'm going to do vertical lines. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. And again, maybe you can only fit 1 line. Oh, there one. I could squeeze 3 in. I could squeeze 3 in there. 1, 2. So I'm doing vertical lines on the triangles. That are kind of on the right and left side of the square. So I cut my square into 4 triangles basically. And now I'm doing parallel lines. That's a word you'll hear in math class. Parallel means they're never going to touch. The ones that are side by side, of course, they touch the edge. So 1, 2, or 3 lines if you have time. Vertical, parallel lines. All the way down to your last row. All the way down to your last row. And down and down. And then it looks pretty cool with that white. You can leave it there. If you are catching up, do your lines and leave these triangles white. If you are a little ahead, I'm going to put a triangle inside that doesn't touch. So it kind of looks like it has a white border around it. So a little triangle. You could put a dot. That would look cool too if you just did a little dot. But I have room for a little triangle. Careful not to touch the sides because that white that's left over will look pretty crisp and pretty cool. So a floating triangle in the space I have left. And then if you really wanted to have fun, you could go on the right side of the square. Remember there was 1, 2, 3, 4 triangles. So this will give you a chance to catch up. And if you're with me, you can put this little sideways triangle on the right hand side. So here's that square, right hand side. Here's my square, right hand side, right hand side, right hand side, right hand side. Okay, so that is our fun triangle doodle.